In our KLTV feature today, we catch up with the Honourable Bill English, New Zealand's Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance. Kia ora, and thanks for joining us.
Kia ora.
So you're in the Kaipara to look at local business. What's been your impression so far?
I've met some very resilient people. You know, running a business in the Kaipara is something you've got to be pretty committed to, particularly at a time, say, when the dairy payout's down, and also businesses here often dealing with some external pressures, the internet and so on. But the people I've met, very committed, very capable and resilient, and that's what keeps the town moving and keeps the surrounding district serviced.
In your capacity as Minister of Finance, what do you believe small communities could be focusing on to encourage growth?
Well, look, each one has their own particular strengths, and I've, for over 20 years, represented a whole lot of small communities in Southland. And what we found there is, I think, the same as here. That is, if you've got to concentrate on your strengths, it's pretty hard and hardly ever works to try and bolt on something that doesn't belong in the local culture, in the local area. So here, particularly around the primary production, growing the tourism, that's where the opportunities are going to be to create the jobs.
Yeah, on that note, in our local economy, infrastructure is key to economic success. So can you give us a glimpse of the government's plans for Northland going forward?
Well, focus on two bits of infrastructure. One is the ultra-fast broadband and the rural broadband initiative. And what we found there is that people's appetite for it is moving very rapidly. So while we've had four years now of rolling out broadband, which used to be expected only in Whangarei or Auckland, people now are expecting it here, and also better mobile phone coverage, because you get a lot of black spots, and so the government's looking at what it can do about that. And then the other, of course, is the roading, and we've had plenty of discussion about the bridges here, and that's good. The people can be have been outside of the north, have been a bit cynical, but here, when you actually go to the one-way bridges, you can see the need to get on with that.
Many industries are concentrated in the major centres. How can government encourage rural areas to bring jobs closer to home?
Well, I think the main driver of that at the moment is going to be the broadband, just because it enables a whole lot of things that weren't possible before. Now, I think it will take a while for people to change their expectations about how you can be employed living in areas outside the big cities. Well, I think another important part of that growth in jobs is getting the pathways right for our young people. Coming out of school, and in some of our rural areas, there's still not enough understanding of what the local opportunities are, or the right skills for it, because not everyone actually is going to go off to university. And we've had had discussion about that today with some of the local businesses.
What do you think is the future for areas such as Kaipara?
Look, I think it's the future for this sort of area is around building on its strengths. We know what we're good at. We've built a way of life around it. We've got the strengths of a smaller community where people actually do know each other. It might not be quite the same as it was 40 or 50 years ago, but compared to the bigger cities, it's real. And a bit of confidence about that. There's some things you can't change. The populations are getting older. That's kind of locked in because the birth rate's been lower for a long time, and that's more the case down south than it is here. You can't really change that much. But building a bit of confidence around what we do well. I mean, look, I've been around Dargaville a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. And I should know to expect this, but I'm still amazed at the range of skills, the sort of range of businesses. Yep, sure, there's some things that haven't survived and gone out of business, but there's other things that are actually going quite well, and people really achieving things, and that's the confidence that gets you there.
And what have you enjoyed about your visit to the Cobra?
Oh, well, I just love driving around the place, and I'm still amazed by the river. We have rivers at home, but nothing like this. And the other is just there's just the unexpected things you come across with people. It's never quite the way you assume. So I've just met some really interesting people who are doing some things which, are really quite original, and then otherwise doing things that you'd be expecting but doing extraordinarily well.
And have you had the opportunity to go out on the mighty Northern Wairoa?
No, I haven't. But one day I'll come back.
We'll have to organise that. And have you tried the Kaipara kumara so far?
No, I haven't. But I've heard a lot about the seasons and who does it, how many people you need when, and the impact of seasonal work on benefits and on the training courses and everything. So I know a lot more about it than I did a few weeks ago.
Been an education.
Yes.
Thank you for coming in today, and thanks for joining us on KLTV.
Thank you.